Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out, their two-time Pro Bowl quarterback in his fourth season now from Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions, right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
Two touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Charles, a look there at the Bengals draft class for 2020. You know, a lot of names on it, but let's be real. Ultimately, it's going to be the performance of Joe Burrow that determines the success. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. On the return is Williams. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals set and ready to go on offense, leading the charge out of LSU, Joe Burrow, the #1 overall pick back in April.
And when you talk about the traits that make Joe Burrow successful, you got to start with his head. This guy thinks the game, sees the game, loves the game. Then you go to the arm. He can make every throw. And then within a play, second and third reaction plays that are big ones downfield. That was why he won the Heisman Trophy, and that was why I voted for him, in addition to him winning a national championship.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive. Back to Mixon on first down. Powers through. And a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead.
Are you kidding me?
After the start to his season, he had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find...
Oh, Chubb fumbled it, and the Bengals grab it. There he goes, right side.
Showtime, baby.
And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery, a Cincinnati touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
And this one through the uprights and good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
This will be caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
Well, there's no guarantee that all the points they scored on opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long. They're certainly starting to set that type of a pace, and what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents. We've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
And it is now 21-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
At the 26-yard line.
From the gun, here's Watson. His throw incomplete. Dylan Duvernay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's Williams to return. They're now running right through him. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here again comes the rookie Joe Burrow and the rest of the Bengals offense. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Now Mixon. And some room to roam now. 20. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. On 1st down, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Watson off play action. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And his kick is good. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. Flushed out right. And oh, he coughed it up. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football. Well, they coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go. But when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Bengals grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 24 on the play, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. From 8 yards out, as his guys continue to pour it on. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man in concert.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's third down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. gun. They run it with Hunt. And a loose football. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. We dominate today.
Touchdown.
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? From the 27, Watson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, but now it's third down.
And 8 yards to go.
Out of the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. One of the more impressive punt returns you will see. That one from 87 yards away. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down.
Good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
And the route is on here in this first half. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On the delay, here's Hunt. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
4 makes it 3rd and 7.
From the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah. And you know how superstitious these guys can be.
Oh, there's no doubt, right? If you put your left sock on first and you have this kind of game, you'll keep doing it. In this case, let's investigate that pregame meal. We might need some of that.
Yeah, right. It's working. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon, able to power through. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
And a good pickup there by Mixon, and that shows the talent that he has. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 4th in the NFL in 2018, 9th last year. But I look for those numbers to jump back up again with the introduction of new talent in Cincinnati.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Leonard Fournette, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
And the route is on here in this 1st half. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Nick Chubb of the Browns gets set for their next possession. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Bengals grab it. The big fella. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. This 1st half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route is on here in this 1st half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. The all-pro corner, Tre'Davious White, picks it off. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
But you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on first. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, what, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
He's brought down back at
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Santos set to kickoff.
Taken in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. You see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here. It's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time and that's caught inside the 35. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It's a gain of 35.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. DJ Moore, his second touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Good start to the season for him. He had the the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. We are just getting started in what should be an incredible second week of the NFL season. So much coming up later this weekend. You've got Tom Brady's home debut as the Bucs host Carolina. The Chargers hosting KC in their first game in the new SoFi Stadium. Remember, the Rams got the home date in week 1. And then to wrap things up, you've got the first home game for the Las Vegas Raiders. It's going to take a while to get used to saying that as they welcome in New Orleans on Monday night. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he stopped immediately there.
Taken down right.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
And he's loose again. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Mark that down as an 85-yard punt return. And this offense is running away with this one.
It certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punt...
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He fakes the give here and looks to throw. He's going to rifle one, and this is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. 59 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And the final number on that throw, boy, it traveled an even 69 yards. McLaughlin for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
And the Browns getting set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something.
Incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper. And second down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Throwing again is Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice for such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right?
Yeah, you do I ever.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A run for Nick Chubb. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And a nice carry and a first down for Cleveland. A nice pickup there by Nick Chubb, who's a bright spot for this Cleveland offense. He finished 2nd in the league in rushing in 2019 with nearly 1,500 yards on the ground.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Bengals grab it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the...
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw set it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well.
Chase McLaughlin lining up for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it. Come on now. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. The guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Bengals defense gearing up as they take the field. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. He's going to let it go again. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A big 3rd down play there for the Bengals. 58 yards. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. DJ Moore. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And it's fielded at the 34. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. That punt returned 66 yards, and it goes the distance. And this offense continues to pour it on as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
McLaughlin for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
Looks like the running back going through the line. Quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time. Wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Back to throw, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. An impressive 75-yard punt return. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So the big fella. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense